one thing I don't really fully understand or believe in is the concept of intuitive eating. When you move towards a raw food kind of diet, people start to maybe talk about intuitive eating, eating intuitively, finding out what that your body knows what it wants, or your body will pull you towards eating a certain type of thing because you're maybe needing a certain type of nutrient or mineral and things like that. And I don't really believe in that much. I don't really fully subscribe to that, I suppose is what I'm saying. So there's people that will, for example, I did a recent interview with Don Bennett, and he said that he goes to the supermarket every day and walks around and sees what his body wants. And I don't know, maybe it is different for someone who's been doing it for that long, but I don't see that as being something that can be real, because if you look at any other animal, they eat the garbage that we leave out to rot. They eat all sorts of nonsense. Essentially they eat anything edible to stay alive. And the way I look at it really is that every animal eats depending on its environment. So our environment at one point was an environment of a tropical forest, tropical jungle, lots of fruits, abundantly, and that would have been what we would have been eating, really. That's without really it being intuitive, just a sort of instinctual thing of that looks good, it tastes good, I'm going to eat it, but not in the kind of level where you're going, well, that tastes good, but I'm going to eat that because I'm going to taste this. Oh, sorry. Are you still going? Still going. But not this kind of level like, oh, I'm low, like your body's just going to randomly take you towards some flower or something because it's high in some mineral. And it's almost like this idea that the body's got some kind of memory of like, I remember when I ate Brazil nuts or something, or whatever it is. I remember when I ate that, and that was high in this nutrient, and I need this nutrient now, so I'm going to get the person to go towards that. It doesn't seem right to me at all, that idea. And I just think animals eat what's in their environment, what's the easiest thing for them to get. For us, if we were in a more natural environment for human beings, which is where we came from in Africa, and the non-seasonal tropical forests, the absolute easiest thing would have been to walk up to trees, climb trees, get the fruit from the ground that was picked, and all that stuff. And I don't think it would have been a real intuitive, like, well, I'm going to eat this fruit instead of this fruit because this fruit's high in this thing and this fruit isn't particularly high. I don't think it gets to that depth, really. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that in your comments, but the idea that you wake up today and you go, oh, I really crave broccoli, and that must be because I need this thing, I just think that's all in your mind. I don't really think that. Maybe am I wrong about this? Does the body have some kind of ability to determine what nutrients are in a food that it's eaten in the past, and then get you to go towards eating that food? It doesn't really make sense. And it's the kind of thing that people who just have a standard diet just talk about that all the time, like, oh, I was really craving this today, I was really craving that. Women that are pregnant talk about, oh, I was craving chocolate and sardines or something, whatever weird combination. And they're not craving anything. I'm wondering, how come you're not craving fruit? If we've really got this intuitive nature, why isn't your body taking you towards the thing that's healthiest? Because it is, but it's all in people's minds, you know. And it's weird, like people eat animals and stuff. People eat dead animals. And yet, if you were out, well, not even in nature, just anywhere, and there's a dead animal sitting there, that's revolting. It's shocking. It's kind of scary. And the idea that you would just go up and eat it is just so kind of weird, you know. So that's my thoughts on intuitive eating. I think we need to work out you know, even things like calories and stuff, I think it's best to kind of have an idea of how much you need for your for energy and everything else. And I don't even know about the nutrition side of things, like how much of this mineral and this mineral and this thing. You know, you don't even know if that particular food has that in it, has that level that's in the database, and then the amount that's in the database is set for people on a totally different lifestyle or diet to you. So all that stuff's confusing. But I do think stick to the fruit. It's is the best thing I can think of, because anything else that you eat, exception of like fruit, vegetables, to some extent nuts and seeds, everything else is like a kind of a compromise and a kind of a sort of a weird reaction in the body in some way. There's always some kind of weird thing, like you wake up and you feel a bit stiff or something, or you wake up and you feel, or your head, whatever. So I always try and stick towards the fruit, the 100% raw food, fruit-based diet, that kind of lifestyle. And it's a crazy lifestyle in a way, but it's, you know, when I make these videos I feel like I'm in a war zone sometimes. Like there's always alarms and things going off. Yeah, so fire engine. So I stick towards health. I encourage you to eat more of this stuff. This is some cherries, and it's easy, and you just eat as many of them as you like, and they're delicious. So how easy is that? Taking care of your health just by eating lots of delicious fruits. Okay, if you enjoyed that video, you want to connect more, you can go to my website, and I send out emails once or twice a week about living this kind of a healthy raw food type lifestyle. Okay, thanks for your time.